Hey everyone, strap on your verb goggles. We're going to conjugate decir, to say or to tell.
Decir is similar to tener and venir, in that the yo form is irregular. Yo digo. Also, the e in decir changes to an e in all forms except nosotros and vosotros.
Digo, dices, dice. Decimos, decís, dicen.
Digo que el helado es mejor que las zanahorias. Mis padres dicen que mi hermano es perezoso.
One more time, here's the conjugation.
Digo, dices, dice. Decimos, decís, dicen.
Okay, think you got it? Check your knowledge with this quiz.
Put the correct form of decir in the blank.
Miguel. Que los amigos son muy importantes. Miguel dice que los amigos son muy importantes. Yo. Que eres impaciente. Digo que eres impaciente. Nosotros. Que eres muy perezoso. Decimos que eres muy perezoso.
Every time you give a newspaper to Newman or write a letter to Franchetta, you're using indirect objects. What are we talking about? Take the sentence, I gave a newspaper to Newman. In this sentence, I is the subject and give is the verb. The direct object answers the question, who or what? What am I giving? The newspaper. So newspaper is the direct object. The indirect object answers the question, to whom or to what or for what the action is being done. To whom do I give the newspaper? To Newman. So Newman is the indirect object. Now, if we replace Newman with him and say I give him a newspaper, we would be using an indirect object pronoun, him. The pronoun him is replacing the indirect object, Newman.
Indirect object pronouns.
Come in close. I have something important to tell you. Ah! Too close! That's better. In Spanish, the indirect object pronoun generally comes right before the conjugated verb. Take a look as we go over the indirect object pronouns for Spanish.
Use me to say to or for me. Te to say to or for you. Le to say to or for him, her, or the formal you. Nos to say to or for us. Os to say to or for you when you are using vosotros. Les to say to or for them, or to or for the formal you plural.
Let's go back to our sentence. I give him a newspaper. I give is doy. Him is the indirect object. What's the indirect object pronoun for him in Spanish? Le. Indirect object pronouns usually go before the verb. A newspaper is un periódico. So our sentence is, le doy un periódico. Here are some more examples.
Me das el juguete. You give me the toy. Les doy el juguete. I give them the toy. Te dan el juguete. They give you the toy.
Hey! Don't let your brain drain just yet. We got a quiz to do.
Rewrite the sentence with an indirect object pronoun.
Luis da la manzana a Amy. Luis da la manzana. Luis le da la manzana. Damos un coche a nuestros padres. Damos un coche. Les damos un coche.
As in English, many of the most commonly used verbs in Spanish are irregular. We're going to go over the preterite tense forms of two irregular verbs, hacer, to make or to do, and dar, to give. First, hacer.
The preterite form of hacer shouldn't be completely unfamiliar to you. If you've ever said, ¿qué hiciste? What did you do? You've used the preterite to form of hacer. Here's the conjugation.
Hice, hiciste, hizo. Notice that the C changes to a Z. Hizo. Hicimos, hicisteis, hicieron.
Hiciste un juguete para un niño. Hizo trabajo voluntario en su comunidad. Hicieron su tarea.
Like hacer, dar doesn't have any accent marks in the preterite. And speaking of dar, here's the preterite conjugation.
Di, diste, dio, dimos, disteis, dieron.
Le di un periódico a Marcel. Le dimos un plátano al mono. Les dieron un juguete a las niñas.
Now a quick quiz to make sure you got this stuff.
Put the correct preterite form of the verb in the blank.
Hacer. Nosotros. Muchas cosas ayer. Hicimos muchas cosas ayer. Dar. La semana pasada, mi abuela le unas botas amarillas a mi hermana. La semana pasada, mi abuela le dio unas botas amarillas a mi hermana.